He is a visionary. He is a doer, a businessman, a humanitarian, an achiever, a dreamer. A man who believes if it is the right thing to do, there must be a way to do it. A man who brings to everything he touches a driving passion. A man who has changed our community and made it in so many ways a better place to live and work and play. That man is Walter Segaloff.
Unlike Frank Bleckman, whose specialty was the art of the possible, Walter's specialty is the art of the impossible.
I've been very impressed with what he's accomplished and how he's accomplished it. It's difficult trying to condense into a few moments the many successes that have come to Walter, which made life better for our community, for society in general, and for his overall contributions to life, to mankind, to the community.
Walter had a sign, a placard in his office that I'll never forget. You couldn't forget it because it was pretty big, and when you walked in his office, it's probably the first thing you saw. It said something to the effect, and I'm not quoting verbatim, that don't tell me why we can't do or accomplish something. Tell me how we can accomplish something. And this was probably indicative of Walter's attitude about everything.
Walter is truly a visionary, someone who sees what is invisible to others, who sees needs and opportunities in the community that escape the view of most people.
I think he had such a burning desire with Achievable Dream. I remember the day that he called me to his house and he just asked me to envision something with him. I was chair of the school board at the time. And I remember him looking out his window, and he had stopped talking to me. It was as if he was evolving this concept of and painting a picture of what Newport News could be, what these children could have. And it was an amazing thing to see, because it wasn't really him describing something, but more envisioning it, more actually imagining it at that time. And you just had to buy into it, you know, because you saw a dream that he had. And it wasn't just a concept, just a dream. And he convinced me and everybody else that it was a dream that could be achieved. And it has.
To Walter Segaloff, though, having a vision is not enough. He makes his dreams come true. He has a rare ability to involve others and inspire them with the power and energy to get things done. People are willing not just to follow him, they will take up the cause and lead it.
If Walter goes into a meeting and you never knew Walter, and you sit down, you could rest assured that his comments would be penetrating, his questions would be thoughtful, and that when you walked out of the meeting, you would understand he had just set the agenda.
I call him the icon for the power of one. I mean, he has the ability, against all odds, to take a situation or a problem and continually pick at it, work at it, get people to join on at it. Before you know it, it's up and going. I've just always admired that about him.
You try to find an example of respect that people have for Walter. And I guess it's easy to use as an example his 7 o'clock in the morning meetings. I think if I called a meeting at 7 o'clock, we'd be very lucky if I was there. Walter has the 7 and 7:30 meetings, and if he invites 10 people are usually there. And they come not because he serves a good breakfast, but they come because they know that whatever he's going to talk about is significant. It's something that they're going to want to hear. In most instances, many of them know it's going to cost them a few dollars. But because of the respect for Walter, They show up at the meeting, and that's the start.
Where there's a will, there's a way, and there's no such word as no, or it can't be done. And you know, you hear so often, think outside of the box, and Walter's always thinking, you know, outside of the box, and there's a way to get something done.
To get things done takes money, and at fundraising, there is nobody better than Walter Segaloff.
Walter has got to be a top-of-the-line fundraiser for two reasons. One, he believes passionately in whatever it is that he's raising money for. He doesn't do it indiscriminately. He does it for causes and activities that he fervently believes in. Secondly, is simply his style. He doesn't take no for an answer. Walter is very clear when he approaches somebody how much he expects that person to give. He's prepared to give a good explanation of why they should do it, and he just bores in until that person does it. And he has done it often enough with enough folks in the community that after a while, if you get a call from Walter, it's just so much easier to write the check than to resist, because at the end of the day, you're going to write the check anyway. He's just terrific at that.
Walter is the most prodigious fundraiser God ever made. Many people will tell you that going to lunch with Walter Segaloff is the most expensive lunch you can have. You not only walk out of the restaurant pledging more and giving more than you thought was appropriate or that you could, but most of the times you've gotten stuck with the check.
There is a very human side to this very remarkable man, too. Gentle, compassionate, imbued with a sense of humor, inquisitive, a collector of knowledge.
He loves life. He loves every aspect of life. He's not a channeled guy, even though he's extraordinarily capable and smart, and he has great talent, and he's achieved much. But there isn't any aspect of what goes on this planet that isn't of interest to him.
He's a very intense, meaningful person. He cares about what he does. He cares about making a difference. And because of that drive and his ability, he's made that difference.
I don't think Walter does it for personal recognition, but certainly that's not the end game. He does it because he's a kind, caring individual.
He has challenged and inspired us all to take on the hard problems of our lives and solve them.
I think the quality of a person's life is in most important measure defined by the size of your dreams. Walter Segaloff is a big dreamer. He has led a remarkable life, and his dreams and his life have enriched ours.
I'm delighted that Walter is receiving this honor. I'm doubly pleased that it's connected with Frank Bleckman and his desire for leadership, because if ever there was a leader in this community, it was Frank Bleckman. And I think when I think of leadership qualities and gifts to the community, not monetary, but volunteering, Frank Bleckman and Walter Segaloff are synonymous.
Walter Segaloff's life of achievement sets a standard by which future leaders will be measured. He has followed a path of service that truly reflects these words from Ethics of the Fathers. If not me, who? If not now, when?